Greetings, my dear friends. Today we'll prepare a unique dish where each cabbage leaf hides a juicy rib inside. Ribs in cabbage combine simplicity with elegance, steeped in history and flavor, and I'll tell you all about it. Wrapped ribs in cabbage leaves are a true culinary gem of Ukrainian cuisine. This dish balances the tenderness of meat with the rich flavor of cabbage. We begin with a fresh piece of pork fat, slicing it into thin strips. We'll render enough fat from it to cook the vegetable sauté, flavorful and juicy, that will perfectly complement the ribs in cabbage. Each slice gets cut into long strips. This way, the fat renders evenly from all sides. Place the sliced fat in a hot pan and fry until golden brown. These cracklings will add an unforgettable taste and aroma to our dish. While they're frying, chop one onion into small cubes. The sauté for ribs in cabbage is simple. Onion and carrot will give juiciness and the right flavor to the meat. Don't forget to stir the cracklings, cooking them slowly on low heat. Long ago, these cracklings, or vishkvarki, were a staple on our ancestors' tables. They were used as a topping for dumplings, porridges, or potatoes. And when cold and ground, they made a tasty spread on bread. Now take 3 to 4 garlic cloves. No need to chop, just crush them with a knife and toss them into the pan with the fat. The garlic will fry with the fat, infusing it with a deep aroma and creating a rich flavor base for our dish. Next, grate 1 carrot on a large grater. The cracklings have released enough fat. Now we can make our onion and carrot sauté. These cracklings are incredibly tasty, especially while hot. Just add a pinch of salt and enjoy. But don't eat them all. We'll need them later, so set them aside for now. See? Add the onion and carrot to the pan and sauté over medium heat until golden. This dish is not complicated to make, and the results will be truly rewarding. Now to the star ingredient, fresh, meaty pork ribs. Cut them between the bones. Rinse them under cold running water first. Ribs in cabbage leaves are a delicious, original dish, and they'll be a pleasant surprise for your guests. At first glance, they look like traditional cabbage rolls, but they're quite different. Each rib will be wrapped in a cabbage leaf. Once the ribs are cut, we marinate them. Add about 10 grams of salt per kilogram of meat. Some ground black pepper to taste. That familiar savory aroma hits right away. And 3 grams of smoked paprika. This blend of spices perfectly highlights the flavor of the ribs. Rub the spices into the ribs thoroughly, ensuring every piece is well coated. Pork ribs are an especially delicious cut. The layers of meat and fat create a tender and juicy texture after cooking. We transfer the ribs to a plate and leave them to marinate. allowing them to absorb all the aromas and flavors to ensure a great result. Now it's time to prepare the cabbage. First, we cut out the core, the hard center that holds the leaves together. Today we've chosen fresh cabbage, but this amazing dish can also be made with fermented cabbage. No matter which option you go with, it will always taste delicious. Once the core is removed, we need to steam the cabbage. Heat the water well and lightly salt it. Lower the cabbage into the boiling water, reduce to medium heat, and wait for the leaves to soften and begin to separate. It's important not to overcook the cabbage. As soon as the leaves become slightly translucent and flexible, remove them from the boiling water. Lay the leaves on a plate to cool. Repeat the process until you have enough leaves for all the ribs. If your cabbage is very young, immediately place the leaves in cold water to stop the cooking process so they don't oversteam. Next, trim the thick ribs off the leaves. This makes them easier to wrap and less likely to tear. Don't forget about the onions and carrots. Keep stirring them so they cook evenly. Once the vegetables are soft, add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Stir it in and let it cook for a few minutes, allowing the paste to release its full flavor and aroma, which will enrich the dish and give it a deep, satisfying taste. 3 to 4 minutes is enough. Transfer the sautéed vegetables to a plate to cool slightly so it's easier to handle and safer for your hands when forming the rolls. Now grab a deep, heavy-bottomed pot where we'll cook our dish. Line the bottom with some cabbage leaves. This helps prevent burning since the dish will simmer for quite a while. Add the cracklings we fried earlier to the bottom as well. They'll bring more fat and flavor to the dish. The cabbage will absorb all this goodness, and later you'll enjoy eating those cracklings too. Now that all the ingredients are ready, it's time to wrap the ribs in cabbage. Take a leaf, place 1 rib on it, and add a spoonful of our vegetable sauté. First, fold the leaf over the filling toward the center, then tuck in the sides to keep everything in place. It may look like a traditional cabbage roll, thick and neat, but inside there's a delicious surprise. It's truly delightful that Ukrainian cuisine has so many dishes made with cabbage. Hearty, delicious, and nutritious. These dishes are prepared all year round, since if there's no fresh cabbage, fermented cabbage will always come to the rescue. Not only do we make cabbage rolls in various styles and according to regional traditions, but we also stew cabbage with meat, ribs, mushrooms, cook it with cracklings. It's a key ingredient in soups, especially in borscht and kapusniak. During fasting days, cabbage with beans is often enjoyed. We make dumplings, pies, casseroles, and, of course, salads. You could say cabbage is a staple in our kitchens, and the dishes made with it are always loved. Every plant has its own history, you know. Cabbage, for example, is likely one of the oldest vegetables. It's said that the ancient Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians all loved it. In traditional Ukrainian cookbooks, cabbage is often paired with apples in salads. As you can see, one ingredient, many great dishes. In the pot, we place the rolls tightly next to each other. This way, they won't open during cooking. Before we begin boiling the cabbage-wrapped ribs, we prepare the sour cream sauce. For this, take 150 grams of sour cream, add a pinch of salt, 1 bay leaf, and a few peppercorns, both allspice and black pepper. Pour in water and stir the sour cream and salt to combine. This makes a flavorful brine for our dish. The slight tang of the sour cream will soak into the cabbage, making it tender and pleasant in taste. Pour this mixture over the rolls. The liquid should completely cover them. Place a small weight on top. Bring to a boil over high heat. Then reduce the heat to low and cook for about an hour to an hour and a half until the meat becomes soft. On low heat, the dish simmers gently and bubbles quietly. The cabbage-wrapped ribs already smell incredible. Their fragrant aroma fills the kitchen, making everyone hungry and eager to try them as soon as possible. Maybe this is your first time hearing about or seeing a dish like this. In that case, I must say, you absolutely have to cook and taste it. You're sure to love it. Serve the ribs, or these wonderful, surprise-filled cabbage rolls, hot. Of course, be sure to warn your guests and family about the rib inside so they can remove the bone, because from the outside, they look like regular cabbage rolls. But inside, it's a burst of amazing flavor. And let's agree, every bite will be a pleasant surprise. Be sure to pour the sauce they simmered in over them. It's rich and delicious, and there's no need to make any extra gravy. Cabbage-wrapped ribs are a flavorful, aromatic, interesting, and original dish. The rib meat turns out incredibly tender, soft, juicy. It simply melts in your mouth. Enjoy this dish with your favorite bread, or, most commonly, serve it with oven-roasted potatoes. It's absolutely delicious. No one will say no to a dinner like this.